Greetings all. On today's video, let's learn how to use the Strymon Big Sky Nonlinear Reverb to create awesome reverse reverb effects. All right, that is a pretty cool sound, at least in my book. What I'm going to do on this video is break down the effects chain, show you how I got that sound, and I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about the playing technique to work with that sound. So let's get right to work. First up, we've got a guitar. In my case, a baritone guitar. If you want to get this sound with a standard guitar, you're all good. Okay, you may also notice I've got a split capo. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The basic tone that I'm using without any effects is just a standard Fender clean tone. Here it is. Okay, and as usual, if you've hung out here with me, you'll know that I've got a compressor on in front of, in my case, the amp modeler, and that just gives me a little bit of sustain, squashing the dynamics. Let's get right into the delay and reverb effect. Next up, I'd like to talk about the Strymon DIG. So to get this patch, I actually dialed up a nice sounding delay with the DIG. Here's what it sounds like. All right, so on the DIG, what I've got going, you may know that the DIG has two delay lines. So delay line number 2 is set to a dotted eighth, that classic kind of U2-ish dotted eighth sound. I've got modulation on the DIG, so it's set to deep, and I'm using the 12-bit delay type, so it kind of gets a little crunchy as it fades out with the repeats. Okay, and that's a very subtle kind of crunchy, but it does get a little crunchy. And you can hear the repeats aren't too bad. Okay, and as far as the delay time, I tapped in the tempo that I want to play at. So pretty straightforward. All right, let's get to the Strymon Big Sky. So what I've got going on there is the non-linear delay type. And let me talk you through just a few of the settings for that delay type. First up in the patch parameters on the Big Sky is the shape of the non-linear delay. There are several different options for shapes, and it changes, as you would expect, the shape of the reverb and its decay. I've selected the reverse shape. Okay, there are several other options, such as low end. I've kind of cranked up the low end to make it sound full. There's late decay and late level, so I've got those about halfway. There's a diffusion setting, so you can make the decay or the reverb sound more or less diffuse, and that's about in the middle. So what I'll do is put all of the specific parameters in the video description. So make sure you check that out. I'll just list them all out so you've got the entire patch handy. One of the important things to note also is that I have the mix control all the way up so there's no dry tone. And here's what the patch sounds like. I'm just going to play a single note. Okay, so you can hear that because it's the reverse shape, the reverb decay swells in and actually gets louder, right, as the reverb kind of moves on. It's about a 2-second decay time, if I recall correctly. I'll have it in the notes below. And because the diffusion is kind of in the middle between not diffuse and all the way diffuse, you can hear some of the layers of the decay as it builds. So listen carefully as I play another note. So it's almost like a little stuttering effect, but it's not. It's kind of subtle, right? So let me go ahead and play a couple of chords here. I'll play the ones that I played at the beginning of the video. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Let me go ahead and dial a little bit of dry signal in there so you can hear it with the dry guitar signal too. So now the reverb level is at about 75% and the dry is at about 25%. Here we go. Yeah, pretty nice. Even it's nice with the dry in there too, isn't it? Okay. Reverb's 100%, dry guitars at 0. This is a nice sound, but I wanted a little bit more to the sound, so that's where the dig came in. And when I put the two together with the dig in front of the delay, here's what I get. Let me play one note and listen carefully. Isn't that nice? You can hear that the repeats on the dig are also creating very kind of quiet waves of sound as the reverb decay kind of fades out. Let me play that again. Yeah, that's cool. All right, that's it. That's the sound. So the crux of it is the Strymon DIG and the Strymon Big Sky. All right, let's spend just a couple minutes talking about the playing itself of the chords. The dynamic of playing with an all-wet reverb is interesting because it's very easy to get lost in terms of the tempo if you listen to the reverb, or if the volume of what you're playing is so loud that you can't hear your dry guitar sound coming right off the guitar. So the basic chords I'm playing are these. Okay. So in baritone land, that's a D. We're going to go down to kind of a form of a C sharp, and then we're going to go to an A. Okay, so not too big of a deal. Again, I've got a split capo, which gives me kind of a dadgad feel to the tuning. Of course, I'm not in dadgad, this is a baritone. All right, so those are the chords, and I've got my tempo tapped into my dig. So let me go ahead and play in tempo. Okay, that's the basic tempo. Now, let me go ahead and turn the dig on and play in tempo with the dig. Okay, that's the tempo of the dig, so let's go. Okay, and you can hear that I'm playing around with the rhythm a little bit. Again, I'm using hybrid picking. You can check out my episode here if you wish. And I'm just playing around with that dotted eighth. All right, that's cool. Now, it gets a little more complex when I turn the reverb on because I'm going to drop out the dry tone altogether. And what I'm doing, since I'm not playing at a loud volume, I'm listening to my guitar with, you know, just the electric guitar sound that's unamplified. Yeah, I guess I should have turned the effects off, right? So the unamplified signal. All right, so let me go ahead and turn on the effects, and I'm going to try and stay in tempo with the dig and go ahead and play the chords, but I'm not going to be hearing my dry tone coming out of the amplifier. Here we go. It's not too bad once you get used to it, but it will definitely throw you for a loop if you listen to the reverb. You need to listen to your guitar. Okay, and then again, I'm using hybrid picking, so now I want to show you a quick example, just one more example of how I sometimes will play kind of a bass drone tone against a lead. Okay, and if I turn the dig on, it sounds pretty cool, actually. Now, if I turn the Big Sky on and play, here's what I get. Pretty cool, isn't it? So there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of potential with the non-linear reverb type of the Strymon Big Sky. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to Chords of Orion and hit that bell notification. I would love to have you on board and be a part of this awesome ambient guitar community. And as always, I'll see all of you on the next video.